Our top story tonight is about America. The United States is constructing a massive embassy in Beirut, Lebanon, a $1 billion fortress in the heart of the country, overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. This new American embassy will be the second largest in the world, following the one in Iraq. You see, even before the construction of this embassy is completed, questions are being raised. Why is the U.S. government spending $1 billion of American taxpayers' money? That also on a new embassy complex in a country with only around 86,000 Americans. After all, Lebanon is a relatively small country. Its entire territory is just a narrow strip along the Mediterranean coast. It is also a region frequently subjected to attacks. Is this just an embassy being built, or is it more of a fortress designed to conduct secret operations in West Asia? Well, we are not asking these questions. Former British diplomat Craig Murray has published a video asking about this massive American project. The video is titled, "What the hell is that?" Have a look.
States Embassy complex here in Beirut. And what you're seeing there, that massive range of buildings, that's only a part of it. That's about a quarter of a new complex. It's being built here. That is the second largest embassy in the world, of any country anywhere in the world. The second largest embassy in the world is being constructed here in Beirut by the United States. And we can't find out officially from the State Department, but we understand that the complex is built to house 5,000 staff.
An embassy to house 5,000 staff. Murray says that the unofficial word on the street indicates that the under construction American embassy will accommodate 5,000 staff members. Well, according to reports, this new embassy is built in the suburb of Afkar, which is around 16 kilometers from the center of Beirut, that is next to the site of the current embassy. The compound, which has been under construction since 2017, looks more like a city of its own. Sprawling over 43-acre site, the complex is larger than any government facility in Lebanon. For context, it is about 10 times the size of the one in Nine Elms, London, almost 2.5 times the size of the land the White House is built on, and almost double the Pentagon size. Well, no specific reason has been offered for building such a huge structure in Lebanon, and that also about 100 kilometers from the Lebanese border with Israel. He mentions that he used to be an ambassador and understands how embassies operate. He then asks, doesn't the idea of an embassy this big with 5,000 staff members seem a bit excessive, especially for a small country like Lebanon? What kind of an embassy requires the construction of thousands of acres of land? Well, to get more information, WION reached out to Craig Murray himself. Our correspondent Ghadi Francis sat down with the former UK diplomat, and here's what he had to say. Take a listen.
It's like no embassy I've ever seen. An embassy, a very large embassy, something like the British Embassy in Washington or the Russian Embassy in Washington, will have a maximum of 400 people working inside it. This building, this series of buildings, being built for 5,000 people. And there's nothing in the functions of an embassy which requires that number of people or that extensive a series of buildings. And Lebanon is a tiny country. It's the size of Connecticut or Yorkshire. It has a population of 5 million or a little more. And this is the second biggest embassy in the world. Why are you building the second biggest embassy in the world as the embassy to a tiny country? The whole official story makes no sense whatsoever.
In the video Murray posted on YouTube, he speaks with Leela Hatum, editor of the West Asia-based digital outlet called MENA Uncensored, who calls the project the biggest secret in Lebanon.
What kind of an embassy is that that's built on thousands of acres of land? It has underground dungeons, that includes detention cells. It has basically what you call pathways underground that lead to the sea, because that's where they have the other escape route. They do have their own helicopter pads, and basically they can fly to Cyprus in and out. And it's as if you're going into a fortified CIA barracks. That's it.
Well, according to the journalist based in Lebanon, America is building a fortress of CIA cells and detention centers. This fortress is intended to run secret prisons, spy on Lebanon and the surrounding region, and also serve as a hub for flights to Cyprus. Haitham further says that this facility is not an embassy, but rather a fortified CIA base. Is that truly what it is? A spy fortress equipped with underground cells and detention centers? If so, what are America's plans for Lebanon and West Asia? You see, the US State Department says that the primary purpose of any embassy, it is to help Americans in a host country. However, Haitham contends that this huge embassy is designed to further what she describes as a project of hegemony. She claims it will help America exert control over Lebanon and the region as a whole. Now remember, Lebanon has been the target of repeated bombings and terrorist attacks by Israel, especially late last year. The country is currently in a fragile ceasefire with Israel, which has been consistently breached through Israeli bombings of civilians north of the Blue Line demarcation, a line intended to serve as a border with Lebanon. Despite the truce, Israel has damaged and destroyed hundreds of buildings in Lebanon. That's within the first 40 days of the ceasefire. The IDF also reportedly set up various positions across southern Lebanon. Moreover, let's not forget the Israeli and American-supported Syrian rebels who recently toppled the Bashar al-Assad regime in Syria. Following this, Israel reportedly took control of a major portion of Syrian territory along the Lebanese border. What then is the US planning to do in Lebanon? The country is home to only 6 million people. It is currently in the process of rebuilding after months of Israeli bombings. What is the purpose of such a huge embassy? Craig Murray suggests that it will merely facilitate a shadow Lebanese government. He claims to have worked in various embassies around the world, and he's certain that this building is not just an embassy.